coterie.
Yeah, now all you get is muted Family Feud.
Yeah.
Which is pointless.
Yeah.
You're in a bar and it's like, muted Family Feud again.
Yeah. It's like, the coterie is like, we're not a sports bar, but God damn it, while the Pacers are in the playoffs, we are. And they're like, they've been running $1 garage beers and $5 fuck you ups. Like every Pacers game.
Yeah.
So.
I'm surprised Matt gets away with still selling them at $5 if other people are willing to sell them at $1 even for just a single night.
Yeah, he sells them. He sells them for $1, and then the fuck you ups is $5 for a shot of whiskey and a PBR or some shit like that.
It's that gets you to buy other things. Well, gets you to buy food, because you'll come in and be like, oh yeah, a couple of those was nice, but I need something else.
Yeah,
and then you buy something at full price. You know?
Or you buy, a burger or a thing of tacos or something. So
that's obviously has no problem bringing in fucking bills.
Yeah, because he's been doing it every Pacers game since they made the playoffs.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, that's the only ever. I thought about asking him if he wanted to go to the Elks, but I don't even know if the Elks is doing anything because it's a Sunday night. So
probably not.
I was just like, it's probably. I mean, even Applebee's doesn't have sound. Like B-Dubs is the only place that's going to give you sound. So it's like,
if you're close enough to it.
Yeah, yeah. So just sucks.
Yep.
All right. Hey, this is Pints and Pages. I'm Nick.
I'm Brad.
I'm Levi.
And I think today we're going to spend a good part of this talking about the movie we just watched, which was Dogma.
Yeah.
We just went to the movie theater to watch Dogma because it's at our local movie theater, Mary Mac's.
Yeah, because Kevin's running that thing where people could show it. No fucking commercials. No previews. Nothing before it literally started and straight to the fucking movie. It was great.
Yeah, right into the movie, right after the disclaimer about platypus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
there was so much like the little details of things that I had forgotten.
Yeah,
watching that movie, it was great.
Yeah. I forgot they ran into like a Target to like. Azrael ran them into a Target to tell them the plan, and they're like, "What the fuck are we doing in here?"
Yeah. And it really made no sense at all.
It made 0 sense. It was just like the closest place they could film or something. You could definitely tell that Kevin Smith was still in his I want to do everything as indie as possible. Still with Dogma. Very much shot like Clerks and Mallrats and Chasing Amy.
And it was one of the higher budget movies he had, but he used it for the cast.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So I've already seen it, so had Brad, but Levi had not seen it.
That movie was something else. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but what the fuck did I watch? The absurdity. Like I said to Dad, the only part that I was like, I could definitely have went without was the shit demon. I did not need the shit demon.
That was a whole sequence I had forgotten about.
I had forgotten about it too.
About the shit demon.
I forgot about the shit demon.
And then it was like, as soon as Silent Bob got the idea, I was like, now I remember it. Because as soon as he was ready to stand up, it's like, I already fucking know what's happening. I remember now.
I was just... Yeah, I'm sitting there going, what the fuck did he just remove strong odors?
Yeah, knocks out strong odors.
Out strong odors.
And that was kind of a theme through it because it was just like knocks out strong odors. Of course, what kind of asshole cardinal doesn't bless his clubs for a better golf game? You know, like they had that. It was just
It's always okay. Kevin Smith always throws himself a bone in those situations because he gives Silent Bob the cartoon cliche moments in every fucking and like think of Mallrats with the whole fucking Batman swinging around trying to steal shit and like he always gets those quirky, like, a giant mallet situation, you know? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. The cast was fantastic.
Yeah.
Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Chris Rock, George Carlin, Salma Hayek. I forgot Salma Hayek was in it.
Oh, I didn't.
I did. I
Oh,
completely forgot the whole Muse thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but I forgot the
I
whole
did
Muse
not.
thing.
I've been thinking about it all day.
totally,
For that part.
totally missed it. Loved the.
It's like it felt like a nod to Tarantino.
Yeah.
Like-
From Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah.
She didn't put her foot in nobody's mouth this time.
Yeah. Loved the fact that it was just so well written because it's like telling you, it's putting a logical spin on the whole telling of the Bible. It's like, oh shit, you didn't know? Like that's what it was. The whole movie though is like, it's just like, oh shit, yeah.
What were you expecting?
I wasn't expecting anything. Like, I had zero thoughts besides, from Dad's description of the movie, blasphemy, which I'm A-okay with.
Yeah.
I don't even know that it was
It's not that-
full-on blasphemy.
It's not. It's
That's
not.
but
walking into it with your small description, because no one wanted to ruin the movie for me. I'm walking in going, this is gonna be blasphemous and just retarded, and that's kind of what it was. It was a good movie, but it's just fucking dumb as fuck.
There was definitely blasphemous moments.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
there are blasphemous moments.
But as a whole, I think it's like it actually gets a little deep in its fucking.
I was gonna say the ending little bit with the whole like, hey, you're kind of accepting that you don't really have
Yeah.
She got to basically accept like, yeah, you're questioning religion. That's the whole point of this. Man's gonna question because I can't remember the whole line. I think it was Chris Rock gave where this is a belief system. None of you guys have gotten it right, but you all have the idea. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
You all have the idea, and that's what we're hoping for here.
Yeah. It's funny because the whole movie is described to you in a fucked up way by Loki in the first 5 minutes at the airport.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly.
I mean, kind of, sort of.
Enough that the nun got up and was like,
Yeah. And it's funny because he does that and then sits down and he's just like, Bartleby looks at him and is just like, God exists. You've been in God's presence, yet you still tell this story. And he's like, yeah, I know. It's great, isn't it? And it's just like, it's that close to believable and not believable. Like, it's like you could sway one person one way or the other just with telling a good story.
Yeah.
And that was the whole, I think that was part of the movie thing. I think a big part of the movie thing was, hey, it's not that you need a belief. It's that, it's just that you need to have ideas, that you just need to be who you are and just live life as a good person. There's no reason for you to have this whole monetary or even belief system around it. It's just
referencing
like
that
Alan
God
Rickman
hates
was-
televangelists was fucking great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's also like Alan Rickman said to her when she was freaking out over being the however many great grandniece of Jesus.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, it's not your personality isn't this now. It's just a part of who you already were.
Right.
Relax.
Right.
Chill the fuck out.
Right.
And I'm like, I liked that.
Yeah.
Because normally I hate religious shit, and I was like, this was actually good without being fucking completely blasphemous.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you throw Jay into it.
Well,
and you
in
can't
the
help it.
actuality,
Oh, fucking God.
it was saying that they were actually God does exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get down to the root of it, just not the way everybody trying to fucking make it out to be.
Yeah, it was basically God exists. I think his point was God exists. It's just like, why do you guys have to all argue about it? Why can't you
don't
just
need God to
agree?
be a good person.
Yeah, like
be a good person without it.
Yeah, like, yeah, it's just one of those things, you know. It was just how they killed the movie people because they created a false idol.
Yes.
And Loki's like, he would want it this way. Like,
Yeah.
he hates competition. Like,
Yeah, the fact that they go around the whole table and he's like, you're actually a pure soul, to the one lady, like, you're actually innocent in all this.
and then he almost kills her because she didn't say God bless you when he sneezed.
Well, and I remembered that part was coming, so when he sneezed, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And that's like, just everybody was silent in there. And of course, we're the only ones in the theater, our group of people.
Yeah, I laughed that it was just our clan.
Yeah.
And don't describe us as a clan, please.
Our group.
Just because we're white doesn't mean I can't say clan.
It does now.
It does now.
And I love how he was like, when he said great grandniece. So Bethany's black? Like, it's like this whole serious moment, and Jay's like, Bethany's black?
Holding the fucking doobie at the same time. And she's like you could tell the actress was trying to not laugh, but it left the perfect response because she's like, well, yeah. It's like almost like that's how you feel about it. Well, yeah, that's exactly what that means.
You saying him holding the doobie when Alan Rickman teleports them and he's just like, I think this shit's kicking in, man.
Yeah. Or wait, I knew he was on the gun. It's not a joint.
The papyrus behind his ear.
Oh, I like how when I was like, so parts of the movie, and Levi was like, when they ran behind the thing and he starts pulling off his pants.
Yeah.
We got 5 minutes to live. We're fucking baby.
No one's killing that motherfucker. We're done.
I was like, yeah, that was. I do remember that part. That was one of my favorite parts, was when he did that, and then she was. And I loved how, like, God's obsession with skee ball was one of the reasons that, like,
once a month she has to come down and play skee ball.
Yeah. Yeah, I just love it. And then, like, they kept having the references for, you don't know who I am. If there was a movie about me, mention a quote from Charlton Heston, and everybody knows what you're talking about.
I had also never seen anything with Jay and Silent Bob, so I did not expect it to be literal Silent Bob and Jay dropping just motherfuckers every other word.
You've never seen any Jay and Silent Bob?
No, I've never seen Jay and Silent Bob.
Sweet Christ. He really didn't know what he was getting into, did he?
No, I
didn't realize it was this bad.
I didn't realize that you hadn't seen Mallrats or Clerks.
Oh my God, we should have started with so many other things.
Jay and Silent
The
Bob.
only thing I've seen from Clerks is the 3.5 minute bit of what do you call a broken beer bottle.
Oh, yeah.
That's Clerks 2.
That's the only thing from any Clerks I've ever seen.
That's Clerks 2.
Clerks 1 would probably be a last watch for him, I think.
Probably. Although, do you like movies with dialogue?
Yeah.
Clerks is the best dialogue-driven movie maybe ever. Maybe ever.
I think since he hasn't experienced any of them, that's a good way to look back and see where it came from.
Jay and Silent...
That was an old style of, like...
Yeah,
movies.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back has to be the next one.
No, I'd say Mallrats, man. Because you got...
That's true.
Jason Lee,
and
yeah.
Jeremy London, and...
he gets to see the fortune teller with the extra nipple.
With the extra nipple.
Yeah. Dude, that hit me hard as a kid, and I was like,
Focus.
Whoa! First time ever watching it. And then, as the scene progresses, what happens at the end, I was like, God damn. Like,
To give you an idea, I've looked through Kevin Smith's entire IMDb producer and director credits, and I guess I didn't look through writer. I've not seen a single fucking movie he's been a part of. Ever. Besides now Dogma. Now, I didn't look at his acting, so he may have been in something that I've seen, but anything that he himself has written or directed, I have not seen.
Chasing Amy's probably one we stick him to watch with Kyla.
Yeah,
you guys
Chasing.
go sit on the couch and watch that one.
Yeah, Chasing Amy's. Chasing Amy is a good one, but is definitely more of a kind of a chick flick.
Yeah, well,
Like,
that's where we start. He has to watch Chasing Amy, then Mallrats, then Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, because there's jokes that relay. You're always telling that damn Amy story. You remember in Mallrats?
did Chasing Amy come out before Mallrats?
I think so. Or maybe it was in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I don't know. The joke's in there where he's like, you won't fucking talk now, but you always tell that goddamn
Mallrats was 95 and Chasing Amy was 97.
Okay, so yeah, then it would have
But
been.
where
It's
was
a line
so?
in fucking? It's a line in one of his movies.
It is. What's the other one with? It's Jay and Silent Bob, because Jay and Silent Bob show up at Holden McNeil and or at Jason Lee's comic shop.
That's in Strike Back.
That's in Strike Back, and they say something about that Chasing Amy story.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say something there.
That's in.
I don't remember.
Yeah. I know that the order of release is Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, and then Dogma, and then Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and then there's Clerks 2, Clerks 3, and then Jay and Silent Bob the reboot.
You make him watch the really fucked up one, the first one. Fucking, what's the goddamn clown's name?
Oh, the clown? The clown one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, if you want to know what none of Kevin Smith's movies will ever be like again, watch this.
or the movie Tusk. Tusk is rough.
You gotta be, Die Hard.
Tusk is rough.
You gotta be Die Hard.
Red State is another one that's really.
Tusk is a 2.9.
I have
Tusk
not watched
is like-
Yoga Hosers either.
I've not watched that one.
I'm afraid to.
Tusk is Justin Long gets kidnapped and they try to turn him into a walrus or something.
Yeah,
some
guy turns him into a walrus.
It's fucking weird. And then there's Zach and Mary Make a Porno.
That's just...
Alright, so the funny part is if you go through his IMDb, there is a Clerks XXX porno that he has some kind of credit in listed right above that. So I thought both of those were just porns he shot.
Oh.
No, Zach and Mary Make a Porno is Seth Rogen and Elizabeth Banks are Zach and Mary, and they're lifelong friends. And they devised this plan to make a porno to make money so they can buy the coffee shop that they're running or something.
There's something like that.
Or to pay rent. I think it's just to pay rent.
They're trying to make extra money because they can't afford it.
So they decide to get all these people to make this low budget porn. All their friends to make a low budget porn.
The one chick was a real life porn star. And that was the one that was always sleeping with Jason Mewes' character.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
there's a lot of nudity in Zach and Mary Make a Porno.
And then what's the dude's name from Hot Tub Time Machine? And
Craig Robinson.
Craig Robinson's in it.
So you can watch Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back on Paramount. Can you watch Mallrats on Paramount? You can watch Mallrats on Amazon Prime.
Do you know there's a new Jay and Silent Bob coming out?
Mallrats is arguably the best one for him to watch, though, I think. Because of the whole fucking Stan Lee shit.
Yeah. Mallrats is...
And that goddamn kid is back on the escalator. Like, if you ever go to a mall with me, you will hear me repeat that throughout the entire time I am at a fucking mall. It never fails. If I see any kids on an escalator, I just start shouting it.
My favorite is every time I can't walk up to one of those pictures without going, "Oh, it's a schooner.
Yeah.
It's a sailboat, you idiot."
Walk past the Auntie Anne's is like, this is for mid-mall snacking. This is not a part of the food court. It's an eatery.
Did you know we're getting a Dogma 2, apparently? Like, I made the joke at the end of the movie. We are getting a Dogma 2.
I had heard that he had talked about doing a Dogma 2.
That's because he was able to... He can now.
Yeah.
I think he always wanted to, but he couldn't.
I'm reading a thing on IMDb. Back in November, he basically said...
he was going to start writing Dogma 2.
It's already in development.
Oh, okay.
He's in development on the long-awaited sequel.
Nice.
It's crazy that he has an expanded universe if you think about it.
Yeah. I mean, all of these movies have like...
And both God and Stan Lee are real in it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny that it's Jay and Silent Bob are his anchor beings.
Yeah, it's the Nexus beings. Yeah,
I can't do this.
Jay and Silent Bob are Nexus beings.
Yeah, Jay and Silent Bob are his.
And since Stan Lee's connected, are they a part of the Marvel Universe then, in a very distant, extended way?
No, because
is this Earth 80081?
But
385.
Yeah,
but does Stan Lee exist in the Marvel Universe?
Stan Lee himself does exist in both the comic and the MCU Marvel universe.
When did he play Stan Lee in the Marvel Universe?
I don't know if he ever played himself, but they have made...
Yes,
in
on the bus in Captain Marvel, because he's reading the Mallrats fucking script. He was technically Stan Lee, not Cam. He wasn't the Watcher dude. Like, he was legit Stan Lee in Captain Marvel because he was reading the Mallrats script. And he was practicing lines. So Stan Lee exists in the MCU as Stan Lee.
As soon as you Google it, that's the first one that pops up.
Okay, because he is Stan Lee in Mallrats. So that would mean that technically Jay and Silent Bob's universe is
Stan
part
Lee is
of...
just omnipotent.
Yeah, they specifically state in an interview that was Stan Lee cameoing as Stan Lee, the comic writer himself, as his old his old job, basically.
Reading Mallrats, which means that the Jay and Silent Bob movies exist, but not
in the MCU.
In the MCU, the Jay and Silent Bob movies exist in the MCU. Not Jay and Silent Bob, just the movie. So Kevin Smith exists in the MCU.
Fucking awesome.
Jay and Silent Bob would also exist in another universe because Stan Lee wrote all the comics the heroes are based off of. If he's in a world where those characters are real, that means those movie characters would also be real in some world.
Yes.
So
there is an 800813
Yes.
Yeah, it also means that in the MCU, Mark Hamill is Cockknocker.
What did I just hear?
Because in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, they're writing a movie. They're out to stop a movie being made about a comic book called Blunt Man and Chronic that is based on Jay and Silent Bob, and they're going to Hollywood to stop this movie. Their arch nemesis, Blunt Man and Chronic's arch nemesis, is Cockknocker, which is played by Mark Hamill, with a giant fist called Cockknocker. And they fight with dildos that have lightsabers that come out of them.
How did they do this?
He's got a dildo with a lightsaber.
Chris Evans, Captain America. Sit down and watch Mallrats.
So, Jay's is a lightsaber that comes out of a bong, isn't it? Yeah, it comes out of a bong. Yeah, because he's blunt. It's Blunt Man and Chronic.
And then no,
right?
No, the double one.
The double one is the bong.
Because the Cockknocker had one, but when his was shaped like a dildo.
Yes.
And then when it came out, it flung at the end.
Let's see, can I find...
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
These are all props and items that any of the Avengers could own in their personal collection because they're all fucking rich. You think Tony Stark didn't have movie memorabilia in his theater?
You were correct. The double-sided one is a bong.
Yes.
The other one also is a bong. They're both bongs.
Even cock knockers?
The two that I'm seeing pictures of, they're both bongs.
Yeah,
That must be...
Because...
Chronic and Blunt Man's must be those.
Doesn't Blunt Man get one and he hits it? One of them hits it.
Yes.
Because it like goes down and he's like...
I don't know if they're still available, but in COD they put Blunt Man and Chronic in Call of Duty.
Skins.
As skins.
Nice.
Yeah, but not in Fortnite. What the fuck?
Yeah. Come on, Fortnite.
Yeah.
God, pull your shit together. If anything, this season's perfect because the new season's super.
Since Magic is the Fortnite, we need a Blunt Man and Chronic Magic set. I create a roach token.
The Bong of Destiny.
I play, give me $15, little man.
Put that shit in my hand. Oh, yo.
Looking
Jungle
to I triggered my
which
jungle.
also my search history's gotta be fucked.
I bring out my commander more stay in the time.
Yeah.
Cockknocker's lightsaber is just a white stick.
Okay, it's not a dildo.
Unless it's just a white fucking stick.
Oh, it might be set photo.
I'm looking at him holding it with his giant fucking hand.
Yeah, then it's a set photo, I wonder.
Don't fuck with the Jedi Master, son, is the quote.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Dude, that was the meanest Mark Hamill has ever fucking sounded in tone.
Really?
Like, that was the most vicious and mean you will ever hear Mark Hamill sound. It's during that fucking fight. It was incredible. It was almost like he was playing a role of a pretentious dickhead actor on top of it. Like, what if Mark Hamill was actually a mean-ass dickhead?
Maybe this is like the Mandela effect, because, it doesn't say that he has it. So, I could have swore.
Cock knocker lightsaber.
That's what I typed in.
Cock knocker.
But
This is tough.
I'm so dumbfounded at the fact that... Because granted, I don't know who Kevin Smith was before anything. Like, I don't know how he got his big break into shit. How the fuck is he doing this kind of retarded shit and then putting Mark Hamill in? Or putting Alan Rickman.
The story of Kevin Smith is a fascinating one because he...
Yes, so the stick you're seeing is the prop.
Okay.
It's an extension, so those are motion capture lines on it. Yeah. Oh, here you go. Yeah, see, the GIF fucking does it real well. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
So does it show it, the dildo?
Yeah. You can't tell. You don't see it before he ignites it in any of the screen grabs, but I'm pretty sure it was a little white dildo.
So Kevin Smith's first movie was Clerks.
Yes.
And he went out and got him and Scott Mosier. Scott Mosier is his partner in View Askew. So they own View Askew Productions. That was the whole circle at the beginning of the thing. Scott Mosier was the guy that got shot in the bus that was cheating on his wife. That was Scott Mosier. But Kevin Smith wrote this movie about being a clerk at a gas station and basically went out and got a whole bunch of credit cards and put everything that he needed to make the movie on a credit card. And then got a whole group of his friends from the community centers and just people he knew in his hometown and filmed this movie for like $25,000. He maxed out all of his credit cards. He had $25,000 worth of credit cards. He maxed them all out, bought all the equipment that he needed, and then filmed it at it literally only films on this strip at this strip mall with a quick stop and a movie thing, which was an actual quick stop in an actual movie rental place. And
I thought the clown movie came first because Jason Mewes was in it. Because that was like it was a project, wasn't it?
Clerks was 94. What was the other one you were thinking?
I can't remember the damn name of it.
It was Brian Hallerman was in it.
So was the...
It's Clerk, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma, Jane, Silent Bob, Strike Back, Jersey Girl, Clerks 2, Zack and Miri Make a Porn.
Vulgar, yes.
2000.
That was in 2000?
Yeah, but it was written and directed by Brian Johnson. Kevin Smith just produced it.
Okay.
Yeah, Brian Johnson, which is the long-bearded guy from... He wrote and directed it from Comic Book Men.
Okay.
Well, technically, it's a short film. It is Mayday, the Crumbling of a Documentary. It's his first thing in 92 that I can find listed.
But he did Clerks in like
94.
Yeah, but like I said, he self-financed the whole entire thing. And
well, and I was pretty sure Jason Mewes was like 15. Like he was just
he was a stoner kid at the community center that they all found funny. So he just brought him in and was like, "Hey, do you want to be a stoner in this?" Like he made it for $27,000. The post budget was $230,000, but it made $4.4 million at the box office.
Jesus.
So then it just was off from there. It was just basically, so he shot it for $27,000, sold it to Miramax for $230,000.
And then he's always kept a joke about Miramax in his fucking movies.
Yeah. And Miramax gave him the $230,000. He used the $230 to license music and edit the movie. That's what he spent the $230,000 on. So, damn. But the soundtrack is like fucking. It's got like Soul Asylum and like it's got a bunch of heavy metal shit on it.
I'm pretty sure he spoke about like not understanding. Like he got some of them for pretty cheap too. At the time.
Yeah, I think
like
so.
In today's time, it's like, well, those will cost you $1 million a piece now.
Yeah. But yeah, it is literally just a bunch of people he grew up with.
That's wild.
And oddly enough, grew up with fucking Affleck hanging around the block kind of shit.
That's insane.
Well, and Jason Lee, like a lot of them played hockey. A lot of them did other things together. The whole comic book nerds group. And then, like, Jason Lee, a fucking skateboarder. Like, they all were just kids of the fucking street in the same neighborhood and shit. And it's wild that such a concentration of all the same age range was all able to get famous out of the same fucking neighborhoods. And it's like, man, why can't, like, we do that? Like, we need to fucking...
That's what we're trying for, man.
We're trying.
We're trying. But yeah, no, they all, like, because see, do you remember the TV show Comic Book Men?
No.
The three guys.
Ming Chang was just on a fucking video with somebody on Magic the Gathering that I watched. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, they were going over Final Fantasy cards.
Yeah. It's a reality. It was a reality show about running a comic book store in Red Bank, New Jersey, or some shit. Jay and Silent Bob staff.
What's the name do now?
Huh?
He split from the group to go. He moved, didn't
he? He might have. But they're all friends with Q. Brian.
Yeah, that was the
other. I never even saw him because I was looking for him in the movie.
So
in Dogma, because he's in Dogma.
I
need to replace this piece of shit.
Yeah, because he's friends with Walt Flanagan and Brian Johnson and Ming, and they're all on. Comic Book Men. Yeah. Now, so here's the funny part. So in Clerks, Brian O'Halloran O'Halloran?
Ming was in Clerks.
Was he?
Yeah, it says, he made the fan site dedicated to the movie.
Oh,
Clerks.
okay.
Sorry.
Brian O'Halloran plays Dante Hicks in Clerks.
Yeah.
He plays Reed Hicks, the news reporter on the television in Dogma.
I didn't even notice that.
He
Yeah.
also ran View Askew's. He was the full-time webmaster for View Askew.
Oh, was he? Huh.
Yeah, and then Kevin Smith made him drive 8 hours to Maine one time to deliver a copy of Red State to a critic. I was just reading random chunks of
Random facts.
Yeah.
Jeff Anderson is the guy that played Randall in Clerks. And he was the one that sold Loki the gun.
Oh, okay.
And, they're in all the movies. They're in both of the... So, in Mallrats, Jeremy London's character is trying to get on a dating game show in the mall. And it's one of those dating game things where the lady asks the 3 dudes questions. The other 2 dudes are Dante and Randall.
Yeah.
Just from the one clip I've seen from Clerks, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the other 2 aren't they? They're Dante and Randall, aren't they?
What was that?
The other 2 in the dating game on Mallrats is Dante and Randall.
No, Randall's not in it. Or Dante's one of them. But Grant Hicks was the reporter for the news that was dying in Dogma. That was one of the other Hickses.
That was It was Reed Hicks.
No, it said Grant Hicks.
Oh, did it say Grant Hicks?
Yeah, it said
okay.
Grant Hicks. At the
Dante
bottom.
Hicks is the one from
Yes.
Clerks. Yeah.
So all the guys with the last name Hicks are always played by
that guy.
Halloran or whatever. Brian. Yeah, there's a sub lore to the family.
There's
Hicks
a whole
family.
to the Hicks.
Gil
family.
Hicks. It was Gil Hicks was the Mallrats guy.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because they kick a couple of the guys out. I don't know if Randall...
Gil Hicks. Yeah. No, you're right. Gil Hicks, suitor number 3.
Suitor number 3. I'd take you out for a nice walk on the beach. Oh, come on!
The Jason Lee, don't they beat up suitor number 2 and it's Jeff
Yes.
Anderson?
I can't remember who Jeff Anderson is.
He's Randall.
I wasn't thinking it was him. I was thinking it was someone else. Because he gets one of them high. Because Jay gets one of them super stoned and he can't go out there. And I can't remember who that one was.
Yeah, because he called Gil Hicks the jackhammer of love. I forgot about that.
The jackhammer of love.
He does get... God, I can't remember, man.
I didn't realize that that Kevin Smith was in a couple video games. Besides just COD.
Besides God.
Well, he was in 2 different ones. As himself as Silent Bob in the newest one. But another one, he did a voice for one of the zombies maps.
No, it was Art James played suitor number 2 that they went and got high. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Randall, Jeff Anderson's not in Mallrats.
It was Ethan Flower and Ed Hapstack were the suitors.
I'm also looking at the release dates of some of these, and the gap between Clerks 1, 2, and 3 is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because he never wanted to make a sequel to Clerks. He just wanted to keep making different movies in the same universe, but there was such a demand for another Clerks movie, what happened to Dante and Randall, that he had to make another one. And then once he made another one, Because it was the whole. I love the characters, but I just never planned on making another one. Yeah, those are the.
Yeah.
So, but right here's a picture of Dante.
Yeah, he was one of them. That was the other two. They got him stoned, so they couldn't get on. They weren't.
So then
they broke in. They weren't the original suitors.
Oh, okay. All right,
Yeah.
gotcha. Those two were Suitor 1 and Suitor 2.
Yeah, and they had him get him fucking stoned so they couldn't go out there.
Yeah, so that Brody
But they were somebody specific.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize that you hadn't seen any of them.
Maybe.
I've never seen a Kevin Smith movie.
So, yeah.
I've seen him in documentaries and always went, he seems like a cool dude. And that was about it. Because all I've ever heard him talk about is comic books.
Yeah. No, well, he owns a comic book store called Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash, which is where Comic Book Men was filmed for the couple of seasons it ran on AMC or whatever.
7 seasons.
Was it 7 seasons? I couldn't remember.
And almost every season released around my birthday.
Oh, nice.
So I was scrolling through the shit, and it's like, oh yeah, October 20th, October 15th, October 21st. I was like, Jesus Christ.
But yeah, he, and then there's...
Oh, you can't forget, he's got to watch the new Masters of the Universe. He-Man.
Oh,
that's Kevin Smith.
Revelations.
Yeah.
Masters of the Universe Revelations is Kevin Smith.
So you got to watch He-Man because that counts too. Figure out, well, I guess you don't really figure out what He-Man was all about. You figure out what happened after He-Man.
Yeah, because it's not really, it's more of a Masters of the Universe than it is He-Man.
Yeah, I don't think Adam's in it anymore, is he?
He was in Fanboys?
Yes.
Yeah,
I've seen that movie a shit ton.
Panel. Wasn't he doing a panel?
I thought he played himself.
He played himself, and they were on like a panel at a convention.
Yeah, I thought he played himself.
Because they busted through, and it's like there's Kevin Smith in the middle of a panel talking about Mallrats.
I'm gonna have to. I haven't seen that movie.
Unless he did that to himself in Reboot. Was that in Reboot? Is that what I'm thinking about? Maybe he's done it to himself because they did it to him in another movie.
Nah. I don't think so. Now, you don't have to watch Jersey Girl. Because that has nothing to do with anything.
That's actually one of those things even he would tell you not to watch.
Guy at gas station number 1.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Reboot's where he fucking pops in on his own.
Yes. Yeah. And then there's a Jay and Silent.
Here's also the other reason I realized I didn't recognize him is I've only seen him since he's lost like a shit ton of weight, but still wears all the big clothing, and he has significantly more weight in the still images I'm seeing of it.
Well, and Jason looks a lot different. He looks better now, but he used to look pretty rough there for a while. He went through some hard shit, man.
Yeah,
it's hard to be the snoochie boochies and fucking
it kind of took over his life there for a little while. And he lost all his weight eating potatoes.
Yeah, dude,
raw potatoes.
That's the thing.
I've heard that.
That's how you fix your fucking cholesterol. Is just go eat some fucking plain ass potatoes.
That's all he did for breakfast, lunch, and dinner was ate plain. Not like he didn't cook them or nothing.
Then he walks his dog and shit all the time.
Plain raw potatoes for like
a couple months, and then it was like okay, you can add plain
potatoes.
Yeah.
For
then
months.
he was like after a month or so he could add plain like broccoli, just steamed fucking broccoli, and like he was able to add stuff over time. But yeah, there was like one point where his doctor was like. Thought he was dying because his cholesterol dropped so fast, so quickly. And it was like, whoa, something's wrong. And it's like, no, it's kind of not.
It's eating potatoes.
The diet like looks super drastic on paper, but it actually is like the best way to fucking fix your cholesterol.
Reset your shit. That is interesting.
What time are we looking at?
45 minutes.
Jesus, I gotta pee early today.
Damn, I was gonna bitch to you about Final Fantasy. You didn't tell me it's because he had a heart attack.
Oh yeah, no, he had a massive heart attack after his very first stand-up special. His stand-up specials are good too because he tells stories about making movies.
No! You stop it! No!
Yeah.
Jay's long lost silent first daughter. Jesus.
Oh yeah.
In the reboot. The reboot didn't do great.
Boo Boo Kitty Fuck.
That's from Strike Back, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but
that's the mom.
That's the mom.
That's the mom. Yeah. Boo Boo Kitty Fuck.
Yeah. I am the Click Commander.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dad also didn't. He left out the detail when it came to that potato diet that it's because he had a fucking heart attack.
Oh yeah, well
Yeah.
that'll motivate you pretty quick.
Yeah, massive.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, he wanted to lose a bunch of weight, somehow decided only potatoes, and then I Googled it, and it's like, oh yeah, suffering a massive heart attack. And I'm like, left out a big detail there.
A motivation.
Yeah, it's motivator.
So what you want to bitch about Final Fantasy?
Dude, that limited format sucked dick.
Really?
Not the format, I shouldn't say that, but the limited feel of Final Fantasy. I fucking hated it.
No shit.
I hated the way it felt.
It was slow as fuck. That was one thing I ramped so fucking hard, but it was the slowest goddamn games I ever played in a pre-release.
It was slow.
It seemed like the games either went super fucking fast or super fucking slow.
Anybody played me is like, buckle up. The first one lasts a half hour.
Mine were quick as shit. Like I
Yeah.
smoked Nate in like 7 minutes.
Sam smoked, other than the one that he lost. He smoked
Seth.
He smoked everybody.
Me and Sam's
super
first
quick.
match took 35 minutes.
Yeah.
And the second match was almost like we kind of we decided I won because I dirtled him out so fucking hard that I was really close to winning, or he was gonna win. I can't remember, but yeah, that's why we draw. Nobody got to play a third match with me. I don't know what the fuck it was. I made the biggest goddamn dirtle deck there was possible, and you just couldn't fucking finish in a timely manner. I didn't mean to.
Oh, right.
My issue was it just felt like, and seeing other people's decks and then seeing everything I pulled and then opening more packs just outside of the limited run, like the pre-release kit. Nothing seems like I cannot find any kind of cohesion, anything that I can get to smack together. Like I had a couple things that's I ran equipment and this guy
You almost have to know what to look for. They really pushed the 2-color identity in the limited, but I'm thinking peak was 3. Like running 3 because you have to use 2 of those types of synergies to support each other to get anywhere. And that's why I built 3-color. It was because, I can go wide and then I can get the ramp from the green to get big and fucking, huge shit out. And that's what I was trying to get to. And that's where I would start actually winning. And then, it was just took too long. And then next thing you know, I'm dead.
I just went straight aggression. I went small creatures. I'm dumping my hand and killing everyone.
I heard Seth at least once, if not twice, swing on his first turn.
Yeah.
Seth was attacking
That's the thing.
Every
That's how
turn.
you win. That's how you win. You just don't stop attacking because eventually they're either going to block or they're going to fucking take it. And it's if you're on the play, attack. You don't worry about the attack coming back at you. You just because.
Limited is very much it's a math game. Yes, there's luck in what you draw and how you build your deck and stuff, but it's a math game. If you don't 1-for-1 and then also play aggressive, in my opinion, you're gonna lose.
Yeah. The best.
But you also can't be like, okay, I'm gonna block with this creature and then shoot it with a lightning bolt and then do that for everything. You can't be wasting 2 cards for every one of your opponent's cards. It's a very much math game. You gotta make them do that to you.
And that's where I would start to fall back because a lot of times it took more than 1 card, except for when I killed Dustin with the giant Cactuar or the jumbo Cactuar. So I played it. I had enough mana to play an instant that would have gave it trample and buff it for 3. Well, he countered it with a spell that cost 2, so I just paid the 2 and didn't get it countered. And then on my next turn, I gave it trample and killed so I got to do 10,003 damage to him. I did.
Yeah, that Jumbo Cactuar is something else. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Everybody came to me for a tie, by the way. Anybody I faced, we ended up tying at the actual.
It was like 1-1-1. You had a lot of 1-1-1s.
Yeah.
1 win, 1 loss, 1 draw.
That's my strategy. I'm going to take you to the bottom with me.
I either 2-1 or 1. Well, I 2-1, and then the one round I lost to Brett was a 1-2.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah,
Brett just got me in the last game. I just pulled like 5 lands and was like, "Yeah, no, that's game. You're fucking. I'm done. I can't do anything. I'm trying to play aggro with 6 lands in my hand. This isn't gonna fucking work."
Yeah.
I had stuff that cost high enough to make use of high lands, but the problem was drawing that after drawing 5 lands in a row. Like I hardly ever fucking got what I needed.
I enjoy pre-releases in general just because it's a fun look at the set. But I don't know, compared to other ones, like, granted, I haven't done a pre-release in fucking forever, but like the last actual one I did was Dominaria back in like 2018. Yeah. But even compared to that, this one just felt chaotic.
I would have to say it wasn't my
hectic.
It wasn't my favorite cards to draft for a pre-release yet, that's for sure. I had fun.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed every moment of it.
Trying to keep up with like what people knew of Final Fantasy and what the fuck I was doing in game was fun.
I didn't care about any of the fucking Final Fantasy shit.
I'm trying to think. I don't remember what's been the funnest set to pre-release that I've done. I've done Outlaws. I've done Bloom Burrow. I didn't do Modern Horizons 3 because that seemed like a fucking pain in the ass. I can't remember if I did Duskmourn or not.
I think I
did.
I didn't pre-release any.
No, I did Innistrad. Innistrad was wild. I didn't do worth a shit, but it was fun. I think Outlaws was probably the funnest.
I'm gonna do 2 boxes just like I did for Final Fantasy for the other 2 sets. Edge of Eternities and Spider-Man.
3 sets, you mean?
Yeah. We got 3 sets.
Avatar. November.
So I'll do 2. I can't order Avatar cards yet. So
it's not until the end of the...
Yeah. They haven't hardly announced shit, just that's what it is.
Yeah. I'm going to do 2 boxes just like I did this last time.
I'm curious.
I think that'll work.
Sorry not to interrupt, but I'm very curious when it comes to Avatar. I really think it's going to be a monocolored set.
I hope so.
Because everything it's all based around the elements. So the Fire Tribe, the Earth Tribe, Wind Tribe. And it's very easy. Fire is red, Earth is green, Wind is white, Water is blue, and
here's the thing,
I don't know what the 5th one would be, but make it black.
Something black, yeah.
Okay, see, here's the thing. I had this discussion with Ray at work, and
I don't know that much about Avatar.
What I was coming up with, I watched a good fair bit of Avatar when it came out, like when it was new. And there wasn't all the other extra shit. But I always chalked it up that Fire Nation was always red, black, with the exception of certain people who weren't bad people within the Fire Nation, who would be red. But primarily, the motherfuckers would be full Rakdos. If you go to some of the people who worked with the Fire Nation that weren't firebenders, there was all kinds of bad people, but...
Granted, there's also only 4 nations, technically.
There is a bloodbender, and she was a creepy old fucking hag bitch who learned how to manipulate people's blood because she was a waterbender. So right there's Demir. Instantly slap on some black to blue, and it's a fucking...
So here's the question.
I think you could pair them with certain characters that are bad people.
And I don't know anything about...
And Aang at some point needs to be all...
4.
No black in them. There is no black in them.
They're not going to make a set
that's not a race joke.
I knew what you meant, but they're not going to make us... I understand making 4 colors, not 5,
yes.
But they aren't going to make a set and not put black in it, so they still have...
that's what I'm saying.
But I could still see them because Aang is the airbender.
Comes in.
Well,
the
that's
fire
where I was getting to is
mostly
they'll
black.
probably still make Aang 5 color, even though he's not evil, but because he ends up being able to bend everything,
Right.
essentially.
Right. Well,
Just-
and he is taught directly the bloodbending technique.
So
Okay, I
are-
didn't know that.
So are all four
Or
of them,
Kiora, or whatever.
And
not
this is
Kiora,
just-
fucking, oh yeah.
all four of the tribes in their colors? Like, so
I think
without
there's
the
going to be
colors.
black mixed in for everyone at some
Yeah,
point.
Yeah,
well, for all
probably.
four tribes, are there good and bad for all four tribes?
Yeah.
So I mean,
There's
technically,
bad
you could do
earthbenders. There's-
you could do black green, black
Yeah.
white, black red.
But I don't
black.
think it would be. It's not a predominant thing, and the set should not be focused on those cards so much as like, this is the bad shit. This is like the villains. You can spice your decks up. This is to supplement the format more than it is to supplement the lore. It's how to mix the mechanics of the game in without fucking up the lore.
Yeah,
at the same
yeah.
time.
Gotcha.
But I could definitely see some of the more main characters being two colors. It depends, because the thing is there could be some definite Azorius waterbenders tapping people down, holding them up, freezing them up, and like red green gruel fucking earthbenders who are more fierce fighters, the big fucking stompies.
Oh, yeah.
The ones who can conjure the like rock fucking elemental kind of things.
And I wasn't saying strictly like there could not be a mixture of color
it's gonna rile
combinations.
feathers if they mix too many, though.
I'm just my whole point was I don't know as much of the lore. I just look at it and I go, okay, we have our elements. Yes, there will be mixtures, but I would really love this to be a monocolored.
This is
The only issue I find is how are we going to do a monocolored blacks? Like you said, that's how you implement evil for the.
Yeah.
So like, let's just some characters like the purely evil ones. They have a mono black version of them.
Yeah. Yeah, like Zuko can
Yeah.
definitely be just black, just red, or red black. Like, there's definitely times where he goes through some fucking character arc situations. You
I was
know?
gonna say I do know that a little bit.
Well, it's, like, for some reason, I just feel like Appa should be Orzhov. Like, it kind of fits the colors of him, but this motherfucker is not going to give a fuck. He's just going to plop down and kill whatever fucking bad guy's in his way. Like, he's just going to land on him and fall asleep like it's nothing.
Yeah, that is for sure.
Yeah, and Momo's a crazy ass flying monkey. Like, he'd probably be... Like, of course, they fit that fucking black and white color to them, but, like, they almost like got that sense of... I don't know what this fucking monkey's gonna do. He does some crazy shit.
Fucking monkeys.
Yeah. It's the artifacts that
I don't
see
know
very many artifacts.
anything about Last Airbender.
I honestly I could see us getting a I could see them using this to reprint some of the decent or some of the good tribal stuff.
Alright, Door of Destiny.
Door Destinies, Vanquish, or not there's one of the banners. But stuff like Coat of Arms, Heroic Banner, Coat of Arms.
Vanquisher's Banner.
That might be it.
Vanquisher's Banner would be good for the Fire Nation.
Yeah. I could definitely see them doing more tribal or even also the
Kindred.
Kindred. Yeah. Also the color medallions, so like Jet Medallion, Ruby Medallion that make
That
the
would make a lot
monocolored stuff cost less.
What about
money,
the signets?
less-
Could they bring the signets in with specific
Yeah,
colors on them?
signets would be
They
dope.
could do the signets too.
Yeah.
Good signets.
Yeah.
That's if they go with
That
the
almost
2-color
sounds like
combination because the signets are all 2 colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. That almost sounds like a good secret layer, though.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. This is what's hard with color identity and how it breaks away from how Magic's color identity is actually fucking decided. Is it's more about emotions and feelings and actions and what things are doing versus what they visually look like. Or Like, representing the forest is never just represented in only green in Magic. Like, the fucking Abzan love and, you know, work on their forest kind of shit.
Well, I mean, Bloomburrow was animals, but it was forest animals.
You tell me dinosaurs don't just trample over forests? Like, they give a fuck if it's green.
Right.
Like, and that's where Marvel's going to be one of those ones that piss people off, but I think Blizzard should stick close to it. But then you get to Avatar, and I'm like, this might be the one fucking place to break your goddamn rules.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Like, it might be the one place to just make it at fucking face level. Like, he's white because he's Aang, and he's the only white fucking card in the whole... No, that's another thing. Like, you're going to have actions made by other people who are in line with how Magic works. Like, if you want to exile something, you can't really just print it in one color, necessarily. Like, you have to print it in its functionality in all the colors. Like, you can exile a motherfucker with a huge boulder. Like, that's pretty easy. So, like, there's going to be green exiling your artifacts and enchantments like anything else. But it's going to have, like, it may have earthbenders on it, but what if it fucking doesn't? You know?
Yeah.
There's too much of not enough lore in Avatar to
You'll get I think, and I could be totally wrong, I think you'll get a good idea of how they'll mix that up, kind of with the Spider-Man.
No, I think you'll get the complete opposite idea, because Spider-Man's Azorius. He's white, blue. He's not red-blue, because that makes absolutely no sense in Magic. For a guy who is part spider to be a fucking Izzet Spellslinger. Like, it makes no sense in Magic. But everybody's flipping out. It's the same with, like, Storm. She's Teamer. And everybody's like, she should have been... Well, that makes no fucking sense in Magic lore. Like, White-Black wouldn't have any fucking thing to do with a being that conjures goddamn natural disasters. Like, that is Teamer if there's no not Teamer there. You know, like, and it's a lot of those colors. Like, one I would dispute is making Venom Golgari. Like, I think he needs a lot more than fucking that, because he adapts to whatever the fuck he's on. I think he should be colorless living weapon type shit.
Yeah.
Some type of equipment.
Venom should almost be 5-color.
Like,
well, okay, so that's what I was gonna say. Is the symbiotes they need to take the symbiotes in one of two ways, in my personal opinion, and it's the symbiotes either need to be artifacts, living weapon type things, because they are Venom itself is the symbiote. It's not Brock. It's
almost
not
like Eldrazi.
It is an equipment. You could throw that onto somebody essentially and make them Venom. But if you make the other way you could do it is they are a hive mind, just like slivers. You just make them like slivers. Make them 5. You can make Venom 5-color to be their Sliver Lord, or make Null 5 colors to be their Symbiote Lord.
The other thing that you've got is you could make them all Transformers. You got the symbiote, and then you flip it to whatever the symbiote.
So that's not... I don't think that would work. Because that's more of a turning it into a vehicle. Or turning it into an artifact that is just a piece of equipment.
I see what he's using the Transformers just as the flip
like a flip card.
Like,
but
so
I don't see this is where you go to Lizard Blades. When it's not equipped, it's a creature. Reality Chip, when it's not equipped, it's a creature.
Correct.
And there's no need to make a flip card for something that's gonna look the same.
So actually thinking about it, living weapon, I think it works to a point.
It makes it germ, though.
I was gonna say they'd have to make living weapon now instead of making germs. They'd have to make symbiotes. But the other thing you can do is give all symbiotes reconfigure.
Yeah.
So that way they are a creature on their own, but they can reconfigure or attach themselves onto another creature like their equipment, and they give that creature buff. Because they did that with a lot of energy cards.
Lizard Blades, Reality Chip, that's all those cards.
So
Gala had a lot of that.
Because my only issue, like the flipping to me, like I could see where your mind went, but because the symbiotes can attach to anything and anybody, that flip would have to be like a blank slate.
Just use mutate.
Yeah, or you could use mutate.
You can mutate it on, Venom on. And, you know, everybody's going to put Venom on top.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that's the way that mutate's going to work. I think there's probably the best thing. Because then it's a creature by itself if you cast it.
Or you can mutate
onto it.
Yeah,
like if you got a random Eddie Brock laying around.
Yeah, mutate Venom onto Eddie. And they can even make that have a special interaction.
Hello, Eddie.
It's definitely interesting. I'm curious to see where they're
going
to go with that.
It was the seeing him Golgari, and I don't understand why the fucking green was in there. Like, the green makes no sense to me.
Yeah. The Golgari, the only...
Have they released some of the cards?
We've seen that 6 layout. The art.
Yeah, with Green Goblin. Makes sense. Rakdos.
Because we saw Green Goblins. I'll pull them up. It's Green Goblin, Spider-Man, Venom. I know we got, like, the fucking Goblin Bomb, like, whatever the fuck he throws.
Another color combo that pissed people off was Black Panther being Selesnya, even though it made the absolute most fucking magic-oriented sense. Like, Selesnya for Black Panther, you know, kind of devout, holier, protecting of all fucking people and natural resources. Like,
right.
Everybody was mad because he didn't have black in his color identity and he's Black Panther, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. God damn.
Speaking of Black Panther, I keep seeing these things. Alright, so we got Grasping Tentacles for Doc Ock, who Doc Ock is Demir, black-blue. Green Goblin is Rakdos, black-red. Venom is black-green. Spider-Man's white, blue, and the pumpkin bombs are red for...
Like, a Doc Ock, alright? I think you could have thrown him some Grixis bones there. You could have gave him red instead of just Demir. Because, like,
I don't disagree.
He was an Izzet guy until the fucking equipment fucked his head up. That's the black. The black comes from the equipment, man. Otherwise, he's just a fucking artifacts dude.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like the loss of emotion from the red, because the blue's supposed to be your intellect and your fucking wisdom and your artifacts and your spell ability, and then the red is your emotion, your frequency of spells, like what you're doing, how quick you're doing it.
The other issue with the color identity of Magic is the fact that they have changed it so much over the years.
There's a lot of things that definitely fall out of the pie, for sure.
Yeah.
But keeping it as much into it as possible, I think, is what is one of the most important things in design. Because then the game gets weird. If I can just draw cards in any color, then what's... Like, dude, that just makes it...
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying, like, if you look at it through history of Magic, all of the colors have morphed to start grabbing a little bit from each other, but they all, like you're saying, they all keep their core identity, where blue is the one drawing cards, manipulating your deck,
arguably green draws cards just as well, but it's a different way.
I was going to say, it's a different way.
Red draws cards, but you've got to get rid of them.
Yes, that's looting and pillaging is what it has.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And white has... Now, you just sit there and play them big dogs that protect the fuck out of you.
Yep.
You sit there and wait.
Yeah, I mean, you put that Doc Ock card in a artifact deck.
Yeah, because he makes an 8/8 every turn.
Yeah.
At the beginning of your combat, all your non-creature artifacts become 8/8 robot villains.
Which is crazy that that's his ability, because that sounds like should have been Ultron. Because he don't make robots. He fucking tries to kill Spider-Man. And with his octopus arms, that's technically one robot with a bunch of heads.
I was going to say, but you also got to remember, there's the reason, so they made it, if we go, and I don't know Spider-Man lore too well when it comes to comic books.
Huh?
Doc Ock's like a 5.
He's an 8/8.
Oh, is he
Okay,
an
I'm
8?
making sure. That's cool.
He's a 7-drop 8/8.
But in what was it? No Way Home, the one that had Strange in it, where they were portaling and shit. That's the reason why Doc Ock's technology can work with all of Tony Stark's technology and integrate with all, because they showed that in the scene where he's chasing Spider-Man and the claw hits him and the suit absorbs around. It's the same nanotech technology. It's the same kind of idea. So the fact that he can take all of these artifacts and
I didn't think his fucking octopus arms was nano anything. I thought it was
that was their reasoning behind the fact that the Spider-Man could the spider suit. I can't remember what exactly it is. I'd have to rewatch the thing I saw explaining it, but it was essentially because the spider suit, not only did it like obviously dodge around help him dodge around his shit, but it absorbed part of the spike that hit him, and that's how it was able to basically integrate with it, is the fact that it's both were nanotechnologies that could communicate.
Oh, that's okay. All right. Because grasping tentacles is the sorcery that is the matching color to Doc Ock.
Oh, Dad's still on the cards.
Yeah, target opponent mills 8 cards. You may put an artifact card from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So you're basically fucking beating people up with their own artifacts that turn into 8/8 robots in your combat.
So you break their junk and then
basically you fucking you break their artifacts and then fucking smack them with it.
It's one of your octopus tentacles. That's how we're gonna lure it up.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we've ran this one through.
All right, cool. I didn't give a whole lot for that end, but that's all right.
Yeah,
you guys were talking Magic lore.
We still got some more Magic Final Fantasy to get through. Give another opinion later on.
Yeah,
I'm ready to get some like Commander games going, playing against them. James fucking kicked my ass in a short little 3-player game at the shop.
And we just called it a conceit, like a draw.
Yeah, because he was popping off.
I just was going to sit there. I had Spore Frog that I could just keep out.
Yeah, I mean, I have those pre-releases, but having a Commander party definitely has to be on the books at some point. I definitely, now that I see how many people can show up and how many people weren't there that could have been there too, on top of that was...
Yeah, I thought of we could have broke 20, no problem.
I definitely think I'm going to start ordering extra like play boosters and like run a draft. Start running drafts every set. Maybe not quite put it out there for the world to see, because there are guys that show up for those draft things that take it a little too serious. Like, I'd still like to keep it like the 14 guys that we had there. I felt like if there would have been a snag, they wouldn't have given a shit. Even the new guys, I was just like, go with the flow. Like, not like that one time I tried to run a draft and put it online, and those guys showed up and they were total dicks to everybody.
Yeah, well, and I don't know if you realized it, but it was a while ago. One of those guys that was pissy about it came back and played with us. He was an older gentleman, and he sat down and played with us one night randomly. And we had fantastic games with him because it was just a casual Commander night. He brought Commander decks and played. He was one of those grumpy guys that when we were trying to figure out how to draft, because fucking half of us never had, and I was learning. Yeah, like I was pretty salty about that.
Yeah, he was a total dick to me. I had to give him his money back and he left.
Yeah, that guy he came back another time and played regular Commander with. I don't know if you were at the shop or if your dad was running it maybe that night.
It might have been my dad.
But no, he actually was fantastic to play against. He was a real chill guy.
Nice. But yeah, because one of the guys was, and the guy that hasn't been back was the one that just like walked back up on the counter, threw the 3 packs at me or whatever, and was like, I want my money back, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okie dokie.
Yeah, we were just trying
because he was like, are we going to draft or what? And I think I don't even know that you were there.
I wasn't.
But
we were all stuck in the middle of a Commander game.
You were, yeah.
And it was because, like, everybody,
And
it was hard to wrangle fucking people that we barely knew each other yet.
Yeah, and you were like, we're just gonna finish this Commander game and then we're gonna play. And the guy was like, it said start at 6. Like, he was a real dick about the fact that we didn't start.
He didn't. I don't believe that guy knew that we weren't WPN and wasn't official pre-release. Like, you ain't logging in with a fucking companion app and getting prizes. Like,
right.
We just were trying to invite people to come play.
Yeah, because it was early on in the whole shop.
Yeah, excuse us for not knowing the way to approach fucking people.
Yeah. So now we know a little bit more and a little bit better, and I feel like the community's a little bit bigger. So, but yeah. So I'm hoping to do a little bit of that, and I think that'll be fun. I think Clinton would love to come out and play. He's like, I'll come to the shop and play as much as I can. He's like, I will only play one-on-one. Like, he's like, I'm just not a commander guy. And he's like, but I'll come up here every time you play one-on-one. And he's like, I'll do drafts, I'll do pre-releases. He's just like, I just want to play commander.
Yeah.
So,
we'll need deck lists from him, because I don't think he knows a lot of the modern day rules.
No.
I've also heard him say, I have a standard deck, and then he brings what is literally a vintage deck.
Yeah.
It is classified under vintage, and he's like, yeah, it's standard. And I'm like, yeah, that was standard in fucking 99.
Yeah, no, he will tell
2001.
you that his standard decks are like 92 to 94 or something like that.
That's called vintage, buddy.
Yeah.
Now, it's not the power level that people in vintage play, but it is vintage. That is vintage deck.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, anyway, just wanted to get those thoughts out into the ether. So we talked about Kevin Smith. We talked about a little bit of Magic. Not really Final Fantasy, but more what's coming
Dogma.
up. Yeah. And Levi's got to watch all the other movies now.
Before next week.
That ain't gonna fucking happen.
So, all right, this has been Pints and Pages. I'm Nick.
I'm Brad.
I'm Levi.
And don't forget to watch, subscribe, do whatever you gotta do. Hit us on YouTube, hit us on TikTok, YouTube Shorts. Levi's putting a lot of effort into making YouTube Shorts and TikToks and putting us out there. So, Savini Comics, Pints and Pages, Google and look for us. So, all right, thanks. Have a great day.